the Juxtaposition Podcast.
But yeah, here's the final question for you, unless you had anything else to add. We always want to make sure we provide the listeners, and specifically this episode, the fellas, some type of actionable item. So even though this episode was more or less about making a house a home and cohabitating with your personal goals, the question I want to ask you to provide an actionable item for is, can you let us know how, like, one tidbit of how to maintain your own personal goals while still maintaining your relationship and uplifting your lady with her goals? I know that's a multi-pronged question, but how can you maintain who you are while uplifting your queen and still maintaining your relationship?
Projects together. Figure out what you guys
like
have,
that.
a commonality, find out the mutual bond that you guys can have, and join forces and commit to something together. Both of you guys can be your best at what it is you both enjoy doing. Supporting her, supporting you, supporting the idea.
No, I love that. That's fire. I like that. Finding a common ground is something that y'all both want to pursue and make it happen. How about you, Zoe?
I would probably say organizing, scheduling and organizing. Because by organizing and scheduling, you will find out where you can fit these things, where you have your alone time, where you have your goal time. You know, maybe it's working out, maybe it's a hobby, you know, taking an extra course on something, you know, getting a certificate or anything for yourself. And then the relationship or significant, like for me right now, I have like a 3 goal system. I have 4 actually. I have my personal, then I have us as the relationship, and then supporting her, like you said, and then the family goal. Like because the kid stuff is always different from what her and I would do. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's why it's all about, I like to write things down, schedule it, and kind of calendar mark it, and then you sit together and discuss it like, yo, all right, look, here's what we want, but here's what I want to do, because one thing may come before the other, and you want to put that out there to let the person know, like, yo, that's going to take a while, but I can do my short term quicker, get that over with, and then on to you, or vice versa.
Right. I like that too, because I think that, like we mentioned, the common theme that we're describing in this episode is communication. And I think communication is sometimes understated. We all know we have to communicate effectively, but when it comes to things like having your side projects or something that's like, yo, you got to articulate that. James, how about you?
So I'm going to start with, like, from the beginning in terms of a relationship. I think it's very important to find someone who is, you know, quote unquote, on your level, someone who has the ambition that you want. Because if you're with someone who's not as ambitious as you are, then it might be hard for them to kind of support the things that you want to do, because they don't want that. Right. So I think you have to start there. But once you're in that relationship and you have your personal goals and there's things that you need to do to put those goals in motion, I think the thing you need to make sure you find or do that's important is always understand what you're doing is about you and your significant other. Right? It's not about forgetting that person. So one thing that I like to do is make sure that we have time where because you can be in, like my wife and I, we can be in the house and we can be on the couch, we can watch TV, you know, at night before, you know, we come home from work, stuff like that. And that's great quality time, but that's not a date night. You know what I mean? That's not about us. So it's still important to make sure that you do specific things together that allow you to still, you know, show that the love is still there, right? You can still appreciate each other on a different level, doing some things that are special between you two, while still reaching and attaining your own individual goals.
Yo, you know one thing I
love?
My
nerves.
I think one thing that I love. So James love his wife, yo, like that, I love that, son. Like, shout out to Shorty. I mean, shout out to your wife, because I don't want to say her name, but you love your wife, and it's super evident, bro. So like, I want to just big you up, and I don't know. Definitely. I want to give you your flowers now, because you know Pope Poppy, you know what he do.
He about to destroy it. He about to light the place on fire.
Y'all making it hot.
Wait, hold on. But before you go, what James was saying, one thing I want to you got to clarify too, because some people, this is where they go wrong, and the disconnect of the relationship is like the on your level, right? So I like the way you put it, is like just ambition and drive. On your level, to me, does not necessarily mean the job that you got right at the moment or financial or whatever. Because
Absolutely.
like a lot of people mess that up. And I don't want to say, but a lot of women in particular, because they feel like they're a certain status and that I need a man here. And it's like, he not on your level, just because, the guy that does the garbage man actually might be more on your level than the CEO because of his mentality.
Garbage men make
But
bread,
not only, but
and
I'm
he got
saying
more
his
time. And he got more time.
But his mentality that's not his end game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know that the other dude might be, and then he can get fired and everything, or the company could get sold and he's done, and now he's stuck. Versus the other guy who's always working and
Yeah, correct.
Well, James gonna be a CEO, so you talk about him.
It's about my wife
CEO.
keeps saying she's just waiting to be a stay-at-home wife. No, let me stop.
Mine been saying that.
Yeah, same.
Nah, definitely. It is about ambition and drive. It's not about financial status. It's not about, tangible items that one owns. It's not about any of that. It's about, your ambition. What do you want from this relationship? And what do you want for yourself to better you from where you're at now to 5 years from now, 10 years from now, in the future? What can you do to, pass things on to your children?
Add value.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Correct.
Y'all hear that, women?
James, stop it. We editing that part out. I'm telling women what to do.
Nah, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, when you get on fries and he's still flipping bird, don't think you better than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't right.
Speaking in general, I wasn't speaking to women. I just want to put that out there.
That ain't right. I'm just saying, like, let's get it clear. You know, like, some people I'm on the register. You ain't shit. I need a register, man. Like,
See,
really?
this is lettuce.
I need a register man. I need a register man. So transitioning from James, aka Moneybag, aka let me upgrade you. Pulpit Poppy, go ahead and take us home.
Yes. So Kev talked about having joint ventures, right? Zoe talked about being on the schedule. Man, Moneybag Yo just talked about all of the important stuff. So I don't know really how to follow. I would just say be empathetic. Be empathetic with how what you're doing may be impacting the other person. And what I mean by that is, if you're working hard, if you're working a lot, what is your significant other doing while you're working hard and while you're working a lot? How are they
better
feeling?
not be texting nobody. She better not be texting nobody.
doing those check-ins to see how they're feeling, doing those check-ins to see how they may be faring with their own goals during this time as well. I think just being empathetic to your significant other's feelings while you're working towards your goals will help you to do all of the things that the other guys just said.
I love it. I think y'all captured a tremendous amount, and I think we did a great job of articulating, how guys can maintain that balance while still pursuing their goals. So